Alright guys, you probably noticed a reduction in production.
Shoot. I mean, Wolfman has been absent.
Yeah, and you're going to notice in the next couple of weeks or week or so, a handful of episodes that I might not be in it at all or very, very little. I've been in and out of the hospital. I had a major surgery. I'm on the mend, and it looks things are all looking good, so I should be back full strength, better than ever, hopefully in the next month or so. But until then, we have some of the great Wolf Tick Nation, some of our patrons filling in. So make sure you show them some love, and they were gracious enough to cover my spot and do what they could, and working with him. So,
all right, guys. Homeboy almost died on us. But
yeah, I'm good now, though. Yeah, I'm back from death.
So after these few episodes, guys, we'll be getting the Wolfman back introduced. But please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Wolf Tick Nation, thank you guys for tuning into once again another Wolf Tick Videos episode. We are over here at the Patron meetup, and we've got a patron here. Guys, this is the famous LeBron Photo.
Not.com.
Not.com. He is here joining us for an awesome unveil. This bike right here has been it's a brand new bike. It's a gravel bike from Mongoose. You guys can check it out, fill links below. The very cool thing about this I've been looking forward to, we have got the Ozark Trail gravel bike. I'm all gravel rider now, you know, the heck with the mountain bike stuff. And I cannot wait to get my hands on this and show you guys. And LeBron, you're a roadie.
Well, I'm a roadie, and I also mountain bike, so I'm a little intrigued. These gravel bikes are good because you could have a road bike style, but off the road where it's a lot safer. So I'm really intrigued by the differences between a road bike frame and this thing.
Yeah, so we'll find out. It's the Guide. I think there's two different models. I think this is the Sport. Don't quote me on that. Normally $1,200, and right now it's on sale for $999. Now, before we cut into the box, LeBron, I know you're all excited. You want to cut it open. We do have to give you guys a little disclaimer. Mongoose did not pay us for this review. All they did was just said, hey, you guys do a real-time review, do initial impressions, Wolf Tick Videos way. We have nothing to say about it. We just want to send you the bike so you guys can show your viewers, all right? One of the easiest companies to work with. So without further ado, let's cut this box open and let's see what we have got.
Get off my hand!
Tomatoes! Alright guys, without further ado, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. LeBron Photo, not.com. Let's see what we have got. All right. How about the blue?
I like the color.
Dude, the blue is sweet.
Nice.
Really good looking.
So I can already see the 2x.
All right, good. That's a free hub. It's got a free hub. It's got a 2x8 micro shift, and I was so curious because all it said was the cog set.
So what's the derailleur? R8.
In
micro shift R8.
R8.
So that must be some kind of gravel.
Gravel talk
version for these guys.
This is a 27.2 by 300 millimeter seat post tube. That seat looks a little gawky, doesn't it? Probably, I don't know, you're a roadie guy. Is that a comfortable road seat?
Have you tried mine? Mine is really hard. It's like you barely sit on it.
That sucker's got some padding on it.
This is good. This is probably not going to be a bad seat, actually.
We're going to see what's in this box. Something about this bike, and I didn't see it pictured. I believe it comes without pedals. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm hoping there's some pedals in here. Oh, we got some pedals.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we got reflector. A quick release, 9mm quick release for the front fork. And the rear on this thing has actually got a 10mm by 135 dropouts. All right, aluminum pedals. All right, just your normal aluminum pedals, which on the side I think it says nylon. Interesting.
But you know what's going to happen, right?
We're going to change them out.
Yeah, nobody's going to use those.
Somebody brought some clipless pedals. We may or may not be trying. Guys, they did a pretty good job packaging this thing. We're trying to get this wheel out so we can show you.
You know, the rims are not bad, but they're almost as wide as some of the rims on some of the mountain bikes.
I think it's a 32 spoke.
This is a pretty wide
32
wheel.
spoke. What is the tire size on that? 700C by 40C. Okay, show them the tread where that focus box is.
That's pretty wide.
How about that rotor
Kick
size?
back. It's a 160.
Okay.
So pretty standard rotor, which for this type of bike is fine because you're not going down any radical hills.
All right, now this is something I was really looking forward to. Pull that top tube paper off. Check that out. What do you call this? What's the official name on that?
It's like a storage bag.
Storage bag? Frame bag?
Yeah.
I like that. I
Frame
mean,
bag,
guys,
yeah.
you got to think, whenever we go out and do real-time reviews, I've got batteries, I've got cameras, I've got mounts. This right here is neat. And it's waterproof. That is sweet, man. We've done some long distance rides with that, guys.
Well, a lot of people use these gravel bikes for riding distances and camping overnight. So
Scoot in a little bit so they can see you.
So they have, they put all kinds of bags, and that's why some of these frames come with a lot of attachments. We'll see if this one does.
But this is the size small, rated for riders 5'2" to 5'7". Again, right now it's on sale at the time of filming for $999. I'm just glad it came with some pedals. The frame is T2 Tectonic aluminum.
See the attachments on the fork?
Oh yeah, okay. You got some little attachment action up there on that fork. Good looking crankset. I love the color of the blue. It's got just a tad bit of metallic in there.
I like the black fork with it too. It makes a nice combo.
Yeah,
and you know,
cool.
this group set for, you know, micro shift, it looks pretty nice actually. Definitely have to put the seat post on in order to put it on the bike stand because this bag is in the way, and it looks like the only way to remove the bag is to open the zippers from the inside.
All right, guys, here we go with the Guide gravel bike, all new. I've got the magnet. We're fixing to do a magnet test. The frame is T2 Tectonic aluminum. All right, so magnet test. Let's do this. Frame is aluminum. Crank arms are aluminum. The chain ring is steel. The cassette is steel. Wheel set is aluminum. Stainless steel spokes. Seat post tube, aluminum. The bar is aluminum, and the stem is aluminum, and the fork is aluminum. We're gonna have to look up the weight on this thing, put up on the screen right now. All right, now, here we go. Normally $1,200, on sale for $999 right now. Again, guys, this is the size small, rated for riders 5'2" to 5'7". What should we start talking about on this, LeBron? Where do you want to start at? I know you're really excited about it.
Well, I think the color is the first thing, just the design of the frame and the color.
Okay.
And it's interesting that it has that little hump design up there,
hump design,
which should give you a better standover.
Okay.
But the main thing with gravel bikes versus road bikes is that spacing in the wheels there. You could put much wider tires on this than you could on a road bike frame.
Oh, for sure. You could definitely put some wide guys on this.
And that's why it's not just a matter of, oh, let's take your road bike and put fatter gravel tires. You could put some gravel tires, but you're going to have some limitations. This frame actually takes those limitations away from
Plenty of room. Also, something I do want to mention is we have a 44 to 56 tapered head tube on this. Now, kind of one of the downsides we'll probably talk about in the positives and negatives is it doesn't have sealed bearings. They're open ball bearing design.
You think for the price that you would have some sealed bearings in there, but
we'll get to that in the positives and negatives, right?
We'll get to that at some point.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start talking about the wheel set on this. That's one of the most exciting things when it comes to this bike, in my opinion. We have got a 700C by 40C tire, right? That the Tenda kickbacks. The wheel set is fully aluminum. It has a 19 internal diameter. The very cool thing, guys, this is a tubeless compatible wheel set. So we can take the tubes out of there, probably add some rim tape. It'd be pretty cool to get this thing tubeless and get it super light. Because I probably plan on taking this thing on like a 40-mile jaunt. Because we got this frame bag up here too. Pretty cool. All right. Let's talk about the brakes. Now this is something I had to find out the hard way when it came to our G.1 Explorer, the gravel bike, our first gravel bike. We have got radius flat mount calipers. Now is there any upside to flat as opposed to...
I just think it's because of the size, you know, you're keeping these bikes light. and you don't have all those extra brackets sticking out. So
maybe to do with the
I think it's just with the lightness and the frame design. But.
Okay. Well, with the radius brakes, flat mount, as we just got done saying, they are mechanical brakes, and we have 160 millimeter rotors both front and rear on this bike, which will probably do it just fine. You know, I don't know about any kind of downhill or anything like that, getting top speed action. We're gonna have to really use those brakes a whole bunch. But the brakes, everything are really clean. That also is tied in with some micro shift brakes. All right, and shifters all combined in there. While we're talking about that, let's talk about the group set. Now the group set I like, and LeBron was mentioning, it's all micro shift, and he's a big micro shift guy. We like micro shift stuff. We have the micro shift shifters up front with a micro shift R8 front derailleur. Now the front derailleur, the crankset is going to be a 2x. It's a 46 tooth and a 34 tooth. Both chain rings, they are steel. We have a Pro Wheel 170 millimeter crank arms with the, I don't even know what these are, just some generic aluminum pedals. Kind of wish that they were plastic if they were going to come with one. We're probably going to change things out anyway, but when it comes to the real-time review, we have to test the bikes out with all the stuff it came with. So we got those pedals on here. Now the rear cassette back here is an 11 to, what was that?
28.
11 to 28 tooth with the R8 micro shift rear derailleur, and it also has a KMC chain on it. And the cool thing is it's not a free wheel, it's a free hub. So if we want to get a little bit extra gearing, we've got the ability to do that without having to buy a new rear wheel. And it's pretty cool too, since it's tubeless compatible, then we'd have to worry about that. But it's all in one. So I do like that. The seat post, again, it's aluminum, but it's a 27.2 by 300 millimeter. Look like there's gonna be plenty of drop on there. I just wish it wasn't a quick release on the seat post clamp. I wish it was the other style, because once you get it fixed in a position, you really don't mess with it that much, at least from my experience so far.
Well, it is a gravel bike, and some people may send it down some places where they maybe shouldn't.
Maybe put a dropper on that thing?
But yeah, some people, I've seen them with droppers, and I've seen them with front suspension.
Okay. Now we've got the Mongoose wrap bars up here. Something that I do appreciate is it doesn't feel too thick, right? Because I'm a thin grip man, but they did a really good job of wrapping these bars. It's really cleanly done, way better job than I could have done or have done. All right, we've got a 460 millimeter bar with like no flare whatsoever, if you guys can see that. LeBron was talking about how much of a fan he was that they're not all flared out. They're almost straight parallel with the bike.
Being a roadie, I like aerodynamics, and that flare just widens you up, so I'm not a fan of flared out.
So not much flare on the bar, big fan of that. I like that too. You know, it just looks a little more sleek. I don't know, not so wide, okay? But it's a 460 bar. Now the stem is a 100 millimeter exposure branded stem with a 7-degree rise. 4-bolt stem. I like that's all aluminum. And speaking of aluminum, guys, we've got an aluminum fork up there with an aluminum steer tube. And the very cool thing, LeBron's like, don't forget about it, is it has internal routing on the fork. So it runs outside of it, runs inside, and comes right out through the inside. That's pretty cool, and that's also just adds to the sleekness of this bike. I don't know, it's a pretty damn good looking bike, man. Now, LeBron, what are these called on the fork? Like,
so there are connection points for bike packing. So you could actually attach bags, and you know, people go camping. They go on long trips on some of these bike trails, especially, and then they camp out and they do it over multiple days, like the Creeper Trail or places like that. So it does have some connection points. You'll see there's 3 points where you could connect water bottles.
Here.
Or other accessories, but yeah, so that's definitely, I've seen bikes with more connection points, but this at least has some that you could use. So it's probably a decent bike packing.
So definitely thought about that ahead of time when they designed it. Pretty neat. I don't know. We'll have to, I'm excited about really looking, since it really comes with the frame bag up here, I'm kind of excited about looking for different apparatuses to put on this bike, and maybe, I don't know, like take it on a pretty decent jaunt, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a very good looking bike. Overall, the color is great, just a tad bit of metallic on there. I like the black fork, internal routing throughout on the frame as well. What do you say? We did the magnet test. We did the little once over. Let's do a shift test. I want to do the stand over. We're going to be talking about positives, negatives, and who this bike is for, guys. Let's do a shift test, LeBron. All right, guys, here we go with the shift test. We are in first gear. Remember, this is a 2x8. 11 to 28 tooth.
It's 2.
Second gear. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. And eighth. And that is on the smallest of chainring. Now you realize we get a little bit of chatter because we got some offset. Now let's go to the largest chainring, the 46 tooth. Oh, and we derailed it.
It needs some adjustment. Certainly needs some adjustment.
Okay, we're on the top chain ring now. Maybe you just got like man hands over there and you shifted it too hard.
There we go.
So there is click points.
There are click points.
So there's click points, guys. That's the official name for it. Basically, you got these little set parts where it's going to go. So maybe LeBron clicked a little bit too far. Largest chain ring, we're in 8th gear. Go ahead. Let's go to 7th. 7th. 6th. 5th. 4th. 3rd. 2nd. 1st. Hit that brake. Look, that's so much easier cable actuated stuff opposed to the wireless stuff that we've been messing with on the channel. That right there is just a breath of fresh air. So let's do this real quick, LeBron. In the largest of chain ring, I want you to shift it towards 8th gear as fast as you can.
Okay.
And then we'll do one big shift up just to see. Fast as you can. Bam. Okay, now one big thumb press. All right, we went from 8th to 5th to 3rd to 1st. Perfect, okay. All right, guys, that was the official shift test. All right, guys, official standover. I am 5'5", and standover's not bad. That is right at the limit. I know you're supposed to have an inch. There's no inch there. If I'm wearing pad shorts, I'm in flip-flops. So if I was in riding shoes, most likely it'd be sized out pretty good. But yeah, for a size small, fits me. What are these called?
Hoods.
The hoods, I love them. I mean, you can really get down on this thing. And the reason why is they're freaking up there. Look at that. Well, standover for me is good. You're 5'8". Let's try it with you.
Yeah, I got plenty of space also.
So, riders 5'2" to 5'7", would you, if you're 5'8", would you like to ride a small, or do you think you would try to go up to medium to see what it's like?
You know what? I would stick with the small.
You'd stick with the small?
I would stick with the small.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Let's put this thing back up on the stand, and I think we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the positives and negatives. All right, guys, here we go with a little bit of positives, negatives, and who this bike is for. Now, we had our tech team over there search the size of this bike, and apparently it comes in a small, medium, large, or an extra large. This is the small, and also this one is just descripted as a 700C guide. The next one up, the upper echelon model of this one, is a guide sport. How much is a guide sport going for? So that guide sport, the upper echelon, which I think comes with hydraulic brakes, is at $1,200. All right, LeBron, let's talk about the positives of this bike.
Well, overall, it's well built, and it's a beautiful bike. And it looks like it's very capable and it's going to do the job that it's designed for. So that's all you could ask for, right? When you buy something, you want it to do what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And this will definitely do that.
This bike here, too, much like the other Mongoose bikes that we reviewed on the channel, if you guys want to, say, order it, right, you want to use one of our affiliate links, you can have it mailed to a store and they will put it together and assemble it for free, and then you guys can go to the store and pick it up. Or if you ever find this bike at a Dick's Sporting Goods on the floor, which good luck with that. These things are definitely a hot commodity right now. The warehouse just got them back in stock, all right? But that's a pretty cool little feature. I think some of the positives on this bike, I love the sleek design, the looks of it. I don't know why, but I love that fork. I mean, it's got internal routing.
I like the internal routing. That's really a nice touch.
The internal routing is really cool, but for them to give us an aluminum fork with an aluminum steer tube is really cool. And just the width of it makes this bike look super fast. I like that they decided to go all micro shift on the whole group sets, all micro shift. I'm not really a big fan whenever you get a bike that's a 2x and the front derailleur is a different brand than the rear derailleur.
Or non-branded at all. Sometimes they'll give you some generic non-branded front derailleur, and this one's all the same brand on all the entire group set. So that's a nice touch.
Yeah. You got any negatives on this bike?
You know, the only negative I really have about this bike is that for the price, for the regular price
of $1,200,
you would think you'd have some seal bearings on the headset, but that
bug you a little bit.
It bugs me a little bit, but then you have to think back and go like, those bearings that are in there have been used on bikes forever, and they are reliable and they do the job. So that's me nitpicking, right?
Okay. I think my negatives are going to come along when it comes time to actually get on this bike and do a real-time review. I can't really pick on it too much. It's got the flat mounts. I guess you said it's better because, you know, maybe weight reduction there. But really, I mean, it seems to be, like I said, well built. I can't really come up with a lot of negatives on it.
Now think about this. So I'm a roadie, and I used to race at one point, and I have a road bike that's, at the time I bought it originally, cost probably twice as what this costs. And it
Back
has
in the 50s?
No, back
60s?
in '98.
Okay.
But it has rim brakes.
Okay.
And I would be going down a hill on a mountain at over 50 miles an hour with rim brakes, and it would stop. So, you know, the hydraulics are nice because you don't have to put a lot of pressure on them, but I'm sure these brakes will do just fine.
Okay.
For what they need to do.
All right, now, who is this bike for? I think this bike is for somebody that maybe buys an Ozark Trail, right? And not really happy with the geometry, or maybe they've ridden the crap out, they've done some upgrades like we have here at Wolftick Videos, and they want the next upper echelon of bikes, possibly?
And growing to the next better thing. There's a big gap too in the price range there.
Big gap in the price range.
So if you bought an Ozark Trail and you really got into it, yeah, this would probably be the right thing. Who's this for? To me, this bike is for a roadie who already has a nice bike and has been riding on the road and decides, you know what? I want to ride on gravel, I want to go out camping, I want to bring my tent, and I want to hit some of those really long rail trails that they keep building in this country. Some of them are, they have one that goes across America actually. Wow. They've been connecting, and these people who do multi-day trips, you could do it on this bike. Now the comfort piece, we'll find that out once you start riding, but this looks like it's going to be a really nice bike for that.
Yeah, okay guys, well, good rundown. Appreciate your help with building the bike and all that good stuff, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are interested in this bike or the Guide Sport, make sure you guys go down below. Check out the affiliate links in the description. And also, it's coming to be wintertime, guys. Wolftick Videos has got some merch. Some people wearing it here at the Patron meetup, some Wolftick hoodies. Check that stuff out. We've got fanny packs and coffee cups. All right, guys, we will see you on the next episode.